fella owns this shithole. Man's got to know his limitations.
All right, guys, welcome back. Part 18. Here we go. I'm going to get this done eventually. Just hold on tight. I think we're closing in on it now. So bear with me, guys.
I don't think it's nice you laughing.
So all the drywall is up in all of the areas around the aquarium, front, back, side, and even way out here. This was a tricky one over here. I had to box in that nasty pipe work, but that turned out pretty good. So I actually put on the first coat of mud last night. Actually yesterday. Man, this took like all day. So it actually looks pretty good now. All the corner bead is on, all the J bead is on. First round of mud is on. So I wanted to show this to you real quick. I'm getting ready to hang the visqueen and completely box ourselves in here, and then I'm going to sand, and I'm happy that this is now finally up, this upper soffit area here, and that was a rough one because I had to get up over there on top of the aquarium upside down backwards and try to nail in the corner bead and the drywall, and then obviously tape and mud. So that's all done. So we're going to go ahead and bubble ourselves in, cover everything up, and then we are going to sand all of this. Wait for that to go into focus right there. And then once that's completed, we're going to primer and paint. And then it's back to the filtration system, but that's definitely looking good. And that should look really sweet, hopefully, in the next 16 minutes of this particular video.
I'm afraid you've misjudged me.
All right, we're back. Ooh, there's the red-tailed cat. And the 720, he knows what's going on. So look at this plastic bubble we are in right now. So it is time to sand this this setup that we got going on. Follow me. Let's go back here in the plastic. And bam, there we are. So got the plastic up, way up high on the ceiling. And we are prepping to sand this new setup. I've got it way down here. We're all bubbled in here. The doorway's blocked off, and here's the other piece blocking it from the other set of tanks. Take you back here in the doorway area. And even the 1000 is covered up here on the back side and all of the filtration equipment. Because we know what's going to happen. This is going to get ugly. I mean, it's the best you can do. I mean, granted, I know this is going to get everywhere. We're still going to have probably a week's worth of cleaning, if not a month. This stuff gets everywhere. But I'm going to run the shop back as we are sanding, which I have right over here standing by. But that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and knock this out, and then we're going to move on to primer and paint. So this should look pretty sweet once it's all done. show you this real quick. We are rigging up the 380 gallon aquarium where the Pacu was at last week. He has been relocated to a larger tank, which in this case is that 720 gallon tank at the other end.
Say what?
But we are getting ready to bring this big boy down. It's been up here for 12 years. And I wanted to point this out to you real quick. This might look like some hillbilly rigging.
I think he's got a point.
One little trick that we've been doing for the last couple of years. So on the floor joists of your house, you can see I've got a 2x6 and a 2x8 screwed right to the ceiling. And I've got 3 screws in each one, in the left, the middle, and the right. And above that is a piece of 1-inch rigid pipe. And then we've got the chain fall connected to that, which is connected to this little I-beam bar here. Now, on the 720, we use 12-foot long slings, but on the 380, the 12-footers do not work. We actually need 10-footers. So we've got 8s and we've got 12s. So unfortunately, I had to do a quick reverse basket right here on this one sling to make up the difference. So we did the first lift because I needed to put these 2x4s underneath here because the bulkheads, which I landed a long time ago, we cannot get these things out. Because normally what I would have done is I would have put the sling right here. But I cannot get either of these bulkheads out. So Brian and his cousin, I guess this is going to be kind of a win for them. They can reuse the bulkheads the way they are. So the first thing I had to do was I had to put the sling right here on the edge. And we did a real quick, small lift, just enough to get the 2x4 underneath. And once the tank was sitting on the 2x4, we dropped the tank back on the 2x4, and that gave us the time in the room to now slide the sling over to right here. So now we've fully captured the tank with the chain fall on the right. Same thing, pair of boards way up high, another chain fall, a complete basket. And one of the things I want to point out real quick is we're using this bar because we don't want the slings going up to like a V, an upside down V, like a mountain. We don't want to do that because that would induce pressure on the top of the tank going inward on the front and the back panels. So that's why we're going straight up and down like you see right here. But I just wanted to point this out to you real quick. We're getting ready to lift this tank up. I'm not quite sure if we're going to, I think we are. We're going to pull out the 240 on the bottom. And then we are going to slide the entire frame probably forward, break it all apart, and then lower the tank straight down onto the cart. But anyways, there we go. A little bit of rigging, lifting up a 380 gallon glass aquarium. I don't know what that weighs, but man, I'm telling you that is one heavy tank. The whole thing is made out of 3/4 inch glass with the twin overflow boxes in both corners. All right, next time you'll see this, hopefully it's on the cart and not in a trash can. Brian and his cousin would probably not like that.
Well, you're a good man, Lieutenant. A good man always knows his limitations.
All right, guys, welcome back. Here we are. So here's the first load of 1s and 2s. We put down this tarp. Oh, it's not a tarp. It's like a mesh. And what it does, it locks in. How do I say this? So the gravel doesn't sink. I probably should have done this on the driveway a long time ago. So by putting down this mesh and then the 1s and 2s goes on top of it, everything kind of works together, and this helps from the gravel and everything kind of settling in and constantly sinking. So that's what you're seeing here is this black mesh. So we got 2 big massive loads of 1s and 2s, and there's a load of 57 fines. But the big thing here is we're all framed in from what we were talking about before, this pole barn foundation. You can see now that the 6x6s are in completely around the perimeter. We got those 3 tongue and groove boards on the outside, and then there's that 2x10 on the inside, and then there's another 2x10 on the top. So this is that pole barn foundation. So we're completely framed in. Been fighting the weather a little bit, but this is awesome. We're going to be bringing this grade up probably a good 1.5 feet before the night is out. But that's it right there. 28 wide, 24 deep. And just wanted to give you a quick update on how that looks. All the gravel's been put into the hole. So we're pretty close to where we got to be as far as grade. I left this corner open up over here. This is where we're going to have the main line come in for not only the electrical, you're probably going to see right about here. So we'll have the electrical service come in here. But then over here, there's going to be a main trunk line coming in from the far side of the property, which will be what feeds the PEX pipe. So we're going to have 2 zones here within the garage. So you're going to see a manifold here eventually in time, which will go out, and you're going to have a zone here on the right and a zone here on the left. But that'll make sense as we travel down this road here. And the PEX pipe got to be in, obviously, prior to the concrete pour, which I think we're going to do this year. So I've already kind of lined some stuff up with a buddy of mine. And this could happen here probably within the next 10 to 15 days. So as you can see, the outer perimeter is all put together, and it's a matter of just putting up the walls now, which that should be pretty easy. But I just wanted to give you a quick update on that. Like I said, I wanted to thank everybody for tuning back into the channel. We appreciate you subscribing and hitting that notification bell and following along. There's a lot going on here at on this particular site. But one of the other things I wanted to point out to you real quick is what looks like Jack is burning down the backyard. We're having our final fire here of the year, but it's November and we're continuing to work on multiple different projects. But here we cut a lot of firewood because that is our main source of heat. I'm going to show you that here in a second. Thought we'd burn a fire here real quick today. Kind of doing some final cleanup here in the backyard because it won't be long. All of this is going to be under snow. We are definitely less than 30 days away. But there's the log splitter. We are probably not like your typical household.
It means be advised that I'm mean, nasty, and tired. I eat concertina wire and piss napalm, and I can put a round through a flea's ass at 200 meters.
We burn a lot of wood, as you can see here. So we're already slicing and dicing, and we light a fire, and we keep this thing going for almost 6 months. Probably here within the next 10 days, we're going to light the fire, and it will go all the way to the end of April. So all these logs that I'm walking past right now are between 18 and 22 feet in length. And what I do is I cut these things up, probably about 4 foot, and then we stack them. And as the weeks and the months go by, what I do is I feed this outside log burning stove, which is this guy right here. There's a stack on top, and there's a 330 gallon reservoir that is completely around this thing.
I know what you're thinking.
And what you do, and what I do in this case, we normally flip the switch, pull out the handle. I'm going to put it in just right now for this video. And in goes the log. And that door can technically take on a 2 foot round log, actually up to about 60 inches. And in goes the log. And obviously inside there's a fire. it raises that water temperature up, which in this case we get dialed into 172 degrees. There's a closed circuit pump on the back, which pumps that water into the house. As you can see, there's a black line right there. It takes off to the furnace, which is in the house, and inside there is actually a heat exchanger, which is within the plenum. And then the blower motor passes right through what almost looks like a radiator. But that radiator, which in this case is a heat exchanger, is about 175 degrees, and that's obviously what heats the house. So, and that takes place for, like I said, about 6 months out of the year. And it won't be long. All this is going to be under a big blanket of white snow. So we're trying to catch up here and prepare for what's about ready to hit us. So me and Jack are going to cut all this today, at least get a good start and stack. So not only are we burning the wood and cutting and preparing for the up and coming long winter, we're working on the garage, and we're working on a 1,000-gallon tank. So never a dull moment. All right, just a quick update. Like I said, we appreciate you guys following along on this channel. More to come. Till then, we're out of here.
Come on now, give me a little look. A little glance back. Give me that smug look and be on your way.